Hi folks. We're here because I had an epiphany of making soft pretzels but with apple cider, and then making soft pretzels apple cider with cinnamon. So we're going to make them in sticks. So what we've done is we have 1.5 cups of apple cider, warm, okay, to around 115 degrees. 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, which is the activation for your yeast. We didn't know if it would actually activate the yeast because it's apple cider and it's not water. However,
it did.
It certainly is, and it's working amazingly well. So we're going to try it. So we also have 4 cups of all-purpose flour. We have our mixing dishes. And what normally we would do is we would add approximately 2 cups of flour, mix in the activated yeast, and then we would mix that, and then we would continue adding flour until it becomes a consistency that we need it. Then we make that into a nice big bowl, and we would cut that into eighths, and then we would form soft pretzels. And then we would boil them and bake them. So what we're going to do though is, because we're thinking sticks, twisted sticks. So what we're going to do is we're going to do all of everything that we would normally do, but instead of making pretzels,
we're going to make sticks.
We're going to make sticks. So that way, with the sticks, when we add the cinnamon to them, if we want later on, we're thinking maybe even with some melted chocolate. We could dip the soft cinnamon appley sticks into chocolate. We think it's going to make a fantastic dessert. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and do it. So we're going to pause this video until we get everything together, including our water on the stove, and then we're going to see how it turns out. Yeah? Awesome. Thanks for watching.
Yep. Press the pause. Okay, we're back, guys.
Okay, guys. The yeast went fantastic. The only cool thing about it is it actually changed the color of the yeast, so that's going to give us more of a brown tint to our pretzels, which is perfectly fine. I mean, we're talking about apple cider. So what we did is we took 1.5 cups of apple cider, we heated it right about 115 degrees. We added 2¼ teaspoons of yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, just plain salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. That is how you activate your yeast, okay? You let that set for a bit. Then we got approximately 4 cups of all-purpose flour together, and we dumped the yeast in.
We used bread flour.
With about 2 cups at first, and then I added more flour to it because we need the batter to be correct. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm actually mixing up the yeast with the batter. Now, once this happens, we need to let this rise for about 30 minutes, which means we're also going to then pause the video for that. But in the meantime, over on the stove, we have approximately 8 cups of water with about 1/2 cup of baking soda. That's what we're going to boil the pretzel flour in once we have it shaped and we have it doing exactly what it is we want it to do. So I'm getting all of this folded and getting it in, and I think that's going to be my additional flour right there. As you can see, the color, and now the flour is getting worked right in nicely with the mix, and we're not sticky.
Which it shouldn't be sticky.
It shouldn't be over sticky to the point that it's gonna like legit stick to your hands. So we are just about perfect.
And it's a really nice light brown.
And smell it. Take a whiff.
Ooh, smell-o-vision needs to
It
be invented.
smells
right
like
now.
apple cider right now.
does.
We don't know how strong the taste is going to be. Again, this is all an experiment. We're hoping that it turns out extremely well. So, but again, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
So we're going to pause the video because this now needs to rise for about 30 minutes.
And we're going to enjoy some apple cider.
All right, folks, so what we're going to do while we're waiting for our 30 minutes for our dough to rise is we're going to see if we can make our cinnamon and sugar mixture that we want to put on our pretzels. So what I got is about a 1/4 cup of sugar. I've got some ground cinnamon. I'm just going to mix to what I think is actually going to be a good batch. I want it to be nice and golden brown. So I'm going to add a little more. That's looking rather light to me.
And you can add as much or as little as you want.
Depending on the amount of cinnamon flavor you want. Now see there, look at that. That's a golden brown. I think that's going to work really well for us. So now what ends up happening is we're going to form the pretzels in strips. We're going to wrap them pretty much like a braid. We're going to braid them. Then we're going to put them in the boiling water that has the baking soda in it. They only flash boil. They will float when they're ready. Once they begin to float, we take them out and we put them on parchment paper. Once you put them on parchment paper, you need to whip an egg, and then you wash those pretzels with the egg, and then we're going to sprinkle on our sugar cinnamon on top of that, and then they get baked. And they only bake for about 12 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees. So it's a real quick process, and we hope that this really turns out awesome. So we'll be right back.
Yeah. We'll be back in well, for us it's going to be like almost an hour. For you it's going to be like 2 seconds.
So contemplating on what all we can do with our cinnamon, apple cider cinnamon pretzels. We don't really know what we're calling it yet. Apple cider cinnamon pretzels? That sounds good. Apple cider cinnamon pretzels. Ice cream. Chocolate. We've even talked about the possibility of dicing up very, very small chunks of apple and actually putting apple chunks in it when we roll it and make them. Powdered sugar.
We could do some sort of icing.
Yeah, we could. You can put icing on them. I mean, ultimately, it's a dessert. It's a snack, so do almost anything you want with it. But we want to test them first, and we want to see how appley they taste, because it's only a 1.5 cups of apple cider. We didn't add anything else to it, and you can't really add anything else to it unless you make a bigger batch, but then a bigger batch just means it's still going to be the same proportions. So we want to see how this turns out. Now, if we were looking toward it as like an apple pie, to have that much apple, obviously you got to have apples in it. So we're going to test it out. We want to see exactly how this is going to turn out, and we're going to let you know. We kind of wish we had smell-o-vision, because if you could do a scratch and sniff, that would be pretty awesome. Unless they suck. So we'll let you know.
Well,
We'll be back.
I mean, the smell of anything smells pretty good. Almost everything that you bake smells
It smells
good.
extremely apple cidery right now. The mix does. The flour batter, all of it. It smells amazing. But smell and taste are often extremely different, especially when it comes to baking. So
Yeah, it could smell like gross and they taste it. It's like, this is the best thing ever.
We made a mistake once. I made a mistake once. Carrot cake is my favorite cake. My favorite cake of all time. I love carrot cake. I tried making a Yule log out of carrot cake. Homemade carrot cake. Homemade icing. It was an epic fail. The cake was still too warm when I tried to form it into a Yule log. But because I icinged the entire cake when I was trying to roll the cake to make the Yule log, there was so much icing inside the cake. I actually got upset. And so I took the entire cake and I balled it up in a big, messy pile. And I slapped it on top of my cake holder. And I just, whatever. We have cake. Me and the kids ended up eating that cake. And it was the best cake we have ever eaten in our lives. And the kids and I deemed it mush. Mush. Every time we talk about mush, we start salivating because it's amazing.
Trademark pending.
Yes, because I don't want anybody to steal that. Mush. It was fantastic. So maybe we might do a video on how to make mush.
Ooh.
Because
maybe we'll do a Christmas
mush is the best mess in the world to eat. Hands down.
It's cake and icing.
Oh, it was so good.
You can only have like a bowl of
homemade cream cheese icing. Oh my God, it was so good. All right, we'll be back.
With pretzels, not mush.
Yes, with pretzels, not mush.
Well, maybe mush one day, but yeah. Okay, guys, I know I said we'd be back with the dough, with the pretzels, but look at it. See how it's rising in there? Okay, that is cool. And we'll be back in like 10 minutes. Well, 7 minutes now, but I mean, look at that. Okay. Close the microwave. And we'll be back with the dough this time. Hello. Promise. We're back. Okay, so now we're mixing our egg. And what we usually like to do is after we get all this, we'll cook it up. We'll cook the rest of the egg up so we're not wasting any. Exactly. Or if we're making another batch.
Okay, now, do you remember what the yeast looked like before we let it rest? It was just this tiny little ball. Now, it is a massive ball that we got going on right here. And here, I have a little bit of what we had was used flour. I like to reconstitute it so that I can roll this out.
You want the rolling pin?
I do not. And we're going to get the yeast out. Oh, look at that. Yes.
Comes out nice and clean.
Nice and clean. Put the yeast down. Break it down. There we go. Roll it up.
Need more flour, Dad?
I do not. I think we're good.
Okay.
Making sure this is getting all pinched together so we have no voids. Something like that. I like to use a peach cutter. It's pie.
Yeah.
Why not cut it like pizza, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do, we take and we just cut straight through.
It's a little
It is
hard.
nice and thick, so you need a big pizza cutter, okay? Nice and thick.
Unless you're
You
doing
could thin
tiny
it. You could
batch.
thin it out. You could press it down if you want to. And then I make it just as if it is a legit pizza pie. I cut it in 8 relatively equal slices, just like this.
I'm taking one.
Ava's going to take one, and she's going to start forming it. That's pretty close. Something similar to that. Okay?
It doesn't need to be exact.
Doesn't need to be exact. Let's get this out of our way. What we're going to do is we're going to roll these out nice and long, like what she's doing. I like to work from the center and pull out as I'm rolling. And now, because she's not done it and I've not done it, she's almost about perfect right there with what she has. Now, I want you to fold it right in the middle.
Okay.
And then braid it.
Oh, okay.
Turn it this way.
Okay.
And now braid it.
Like that?
Yep, make it tight. Very good. Yep, just like a swirl, like a candy cane.
Ooh.
Just like that.
It's candy cane season.
Very good. Yep.
It's almost Christmas.
So I want to do the same thing.
Wait, now you want me to pinch the ends?
Pinch the end. Yep. And I'm just going to roll mine
And you put it there, and you got it on.
just like she did. I'm just going to keep rolling it and braiding it.
More like twisting it.
Great. More like twisting it. And then we're going to give that a pinch at the end to make sure that it's going to hopefully keep its shape so it looks like a roll.
Now, as we keep rolling and rolling and rolling,
And over on the stove, we have our water
which
with
is
the baking soda.
now boiling, I think. We'll have to check.
It's really close to boiling.
Ooh, it is bubbling. So, I guess I'd say that's
And
boiling.
show them the parchment paper.
And then you need this. And you need to fill these. Well, you don't have to fill them, but we fill them with paper with pretzels. And then, well, you'll see in a second, but then we'll drop them into the dough. We'll drop them into the water.
Yeah.
All right,
Water.
so let's go back to and we're back, Dad. We took
Oh,
a little
boy.
tour of the
I've got another rope going. I want you to try something for me.
Ooh, okay.
We're going to see if we can make it even easier.
Okay.
Fold it in half. When you're ready, pinch the end. Pinch it. Now grab that end and just twist opposite directions. Look at that.
And you can put as many or as little twists in it
Yep,
as you
you
like.
can make it as twisty or
But then
as
it starts untwisting.
just leave it go. It will stay. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'll set it over and mine over here.
Now you want all of this to actually go quickly because when you boil them in the water baking soda mix, it literally is like 30 seconds. It's extremely fast.
So you want to get all the pretzels done.
You want all of your pretzels to be done and ready to go as best as you
Before you-
can because we have found ourselves behind on that action a couple of times. We sure have. Now, yep. that actually works out better. Ooh, this one's going to be a big one. Oh, I can smell the apple cider in it. Don't know how weak the flavor is going to be.
Is this good, Dad, or I think it needs to be longer?
A little bit, maybe.
Here?
Yep.
I guess if you make these out of a different dough, you can just like make them little ornaments for a tree.
There's probably all kinds of things you could do with this.
Sky's the limit. Or, well, how much yeast you have and all the ingredients you have, I guess that's the limit.
Right.
And,
all right. So you're going to do the last one, yeah?
yeah.
And then I will start boiling.
Okay. Well, you guys probably don't want to see me roll out the last pretzel, so we'll move over to the action. So we'll come over here, and you can keep an eye on everything that's going on right now.
Drop. Drop. Drop.
Mind the dog.
We have 3 or 4 in there. Let's try one more. Drop that. Now what I have is I have a little basket that I like to scoop them out with. You just want to barely touch them so that you're sure they don't, for some reason, stick on the bottom. Now look, they're already floating. Oh. Let's take that and bring that out. Drop those down. And water the dough. I'm going to start my oven.
This one did that?
Very good.
You
Put it right in the water.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there's one floating.
And what we have is our egg wash.
Here, I'll let you get these ones, Dad. I can egg wash.
And then Ava's going to egg wash these.
You guys can see me all the way over here, right? Oh, if not, oh well. When all the other ones are out, you can come over here and see me. And then we would normally put salt on these,
We would
but
normally be putting coarse salt on them, but cinnamon and sugar this time.
yeah. Cause there are desserts. Cameron.
Oh, we got one that kind of came unraveled. I think we can fix it.
No. No, unraveling. Okay, you guys are gonna come over here now since there's what, one pretzel left in there?
We got 2.
Oh. Alright, you guys are over here. Yeah. Yeah.
Shut the water off. Back up just a minute, David. There we are. Now I'm going to try to.
There's the bad pretzel. Well, not the bad pretzel. He's just different.
There we go. Now, I'm going to need you to egg wash these on every side, unlike the normal pretzels. Because if we don't, the way we roll this in cinnamon might not work.
Right. do the special one. And now this one.
Here's our cinnamon and sugar.
And just make sure you get all of it good so it gets good and in there. And then if you're doing another batch, you might need to crack another egg, or you could just cook this. I think we might add another egg to this if we're doing another batch and then cook that up. I think, right, Dad?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll have to see how good these are. Which I'm assuming are going to be amazing because they're dessert pretzels. I mean, what else could you want?
I don't know.
I mean, is there a better combination? I don't think there is.
And I'm just going to flood
There is actually
these
better.
pretzels with our cinnamon sugar goodness. Picking them up. Trying to keep them rotated.
Well, I didn't egg wash that side, so I should do that while you're...
A little too late on that action. We're going without it.
There you go.
And we're going to see how it turns out.
Well, I didn't want to get my hands dirty.
Right. Now, what we're also going to do is, I'm going to show you how we transfer this, because we cook these right on the parchment paper.
Well, on a pan.
On a pan, but we leave it right on the parchment paper. That way it's easy to take off and remove. I'm just going to use all of this. I mean, what are we going to use it for, right?
And another batch. Then you wash your hands, and then...
Give my hands a little rinse.
I guess you could put that on ice cream. That would be good.
I think I said that.
No, the cinnamon sugar.
Well,
I mean, anything would be... Almost anything would be good with cinnamon and sugar.
alright. Now we're going to transfer this right onto our pan, if we can.
That guy's...
There we go.
You got it? Oh, look at all that goodness on my finger that I can't eat because it was touching egg.
And just like that, I think we're ready to go in the oven, folks.
Yeah. Ready for the one-of-kind oven pass? You gotta go from here to the ocean to the oven. You think we can do it? I think we can. Oven.
In the oven we go.
Yummy.
And we'll be back.
What are we gonna snack on while we wait? Fun fact time with Dad while he tries to open flour.
Bread flour. We're going to do it with bread flour as opposed to all-purpose flour. Bread flour should make the pretzels even softer and fluffier as opposed to all-purpose flour. So, fingers crossed.
And that was Fun Facts with Dad. Okay guys, so look at these. They're not done yet. There's still 12 minutes. Or 11 minutes. But they're gonna be delicious.
Oh, they're going to be good.
They're gonna be so good. Aww. Okay, so once you get that up to temperature.
We need to check our temp. We want it to be, like I said, above 110. Or
But
right, no less than 110.
No higher than
120.
125.
Yeah, 120, 125. So, I don't know if that's going to zoom in on that.
That is about the temperature you want it at. That's 125. We want it to be at least maybe a little lower, but
By the time we add our sugar and our salt into it, it's going to drop the temperature, and especially with whatever you're mixing it with.
we're using the metal
Because
whisk.
it's cool metal, it will drop that temperature.
And I will be doing the mixing for this project.
So,
I'm good at mixing.
what we need is,
There's nothing in here right now. Just getting my mixing hand ready.
okay, 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, a dash of salt.
Which you don't have to be exact. We're just putting in salt.
Yeast.
We're using a jar of yeast, and you can use a packet, but we're using a packet's
you
worth
can
of
use
yeast,
Yep, you can
which
use a
is
packet.
2 1/4 teaspoons.
2 1/4 teaspoons. Are you good and mixed?
One,
2,
2,
and an eyeball of 1/4.
and a bit.
Now she's got to mix that really good because you need that yeast to break down before it can activate.
Think that's good?
I think that's really good.
Ding, 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 ding,
Wow.
ding, ding, ding.
You can see it's already bubbling.
Which is a good sign.
Look at how it's working its way together inside there. That is going to make a great yeast. It sure is.
Well, we got 6 minutes to wait before we get...
Before we are eating pretzels.
Hey, you can keep an eye on the yeast, though. You guys want to keep an eye on the yeast?
And it is foaming.
There we go. That's looking good.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep.
Yeah, always prep in your
Do.
downtime.
I'm going to do our sugar.
And
Like I
drink
said,
apple cider.
That actually worked out to be almost perfect. That's about a 1/4 cup of sugar.
You want some apple cider, Dad?
Thank you. Cinnamon. Add a good bit of cinnamon because we want that golden brown.
Warm cider is better than cold cider, but they're both pretty good. Ooh, 5 minutes. I'm excited.
There it is. Golden brown. Alright, we'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, with pretzels. Hopefully. Well, they'll be coming out of the oven, right? Look at these. The recording doesn't capture it. You'll have to make them for yourself.
Imagine them drizzled with a little bit of confectioner sugar mix and milk whipped together like frosting.
Yeah, we should do that.
Dip it in it.
Yes. 1 minute. Yes. We can take them out now, right? Okay, timer just went off. Sorry, it's gonna get a little shaky for a second because I'm holding it. We're just gonna get a dad shot. Hi, Dad.
Yo, let's check them out.
Yeah. Check 'em out.
What do we think?
Yum. That's what we think. Yum. Alright. I mean,
Look at those.
Okay, I want to eat them all right now.
They're going to be super hot, Ava. They were
I don't
400 degrees.
I don't care. I want to eat them. Would it? I don't think it would. I think my brain would. From how good they are. Alright.
Let us spatula.
Oh yeah, if your brain would have some.
Or should we just leave them right on the parchment and pick up the parchment?
We do whatever, I guess.
Right on
Okay,
the
that
cutting
looks
rack.
really good.
They look spectacular. It's gonna be hot. You're gonna burn yourself.
So,
Don't do this at home. Ooh, let's see it. Flip it over. You got it in your hand. Golden
that
brown.
looks good.
That looks fantastic.
It tastes pretty good too. Ooh, let's split it in half.
There you go, folks.
That's what the inside of the pretzel? This is a pretzel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it kind of seems like a donut.
But it's pretzel dough.
Yeah, it's like a dessert pretzel.
I'm going to try
Give it a
it.
try. It.
That's good.
Yeah. Is that a winner? Can you taste the apple? Or is it only a hint, or is it just non-existent? Is it more cinnamon sugar?
You
Honest
have to
opinion.
taste it.
Honest opinion.
You should taste it. It's actually really good.
I don't doubt that it's really good. The apple is there.
But it's like
It
on the
doesn't
back
really
burner.
hit you. It's faint. It's nice. It's mellow. The cinnamon and sugar, though, top it. That gives you the pow. Apple pie. I think they are beyond a winner. I like them. Folks, try it. See how you do. What you think.
Our future videos. Okay, bye!